Now that your teachers and students are using Studio Go to plan the work that teachers are posting on Google Classroom or enter their own, well, you can enhance that experience by adding schedules to Studio Go. This is part of the free version of Studio Go, so no worries here. And the way it works is by one of the administrators of the school going to the administrative panel. So, a reminder of that, you go to the gear to get to the settings. You can go to schools and edit, and you'll be in the administrative panel. And in here, you will see schedules. Now, there is also a schedules area for the individual user. If I go back and I go to schedules, and I can create a new schedule from there. It'll end up being the same in the case of the administrator, but this is where teachers will go to set up their part of the schedule if they are asked to do that. So let's do the formal one first. So to edit a schedule, you have to create a schedule. Every school year basically is a new schedule. So I'll create a new one and I'll call this year 2025-26 and go to next. You first set up the beginning of the school year and the end of the school year based on your school calendar. And then you pick the type of schedule. So here's a quick overview. There's three different types of schedules you can set up. The basic one, the easiest one, is a weekly schedule. Your school has, school from Monday to Friday, and it's every week is the same. Basically, the timetable repeats every week. In some cases, uh, it's a multi-week schedule. Sometimes one week is just a little bit different from another week, a week A, week B, or week one, week two. Maybe it's just some of the classes that change and some repeat. That's fine. That would mean it's a 2 week or a 3 week schedule. Typically, we see a few 2 week schedules where some of the subjects don't repeat every week or have different classes every week, where other subjects are the same every week. So as soon as there's a difference, it's a 2 week or a 3 week schedule. And then finally, the cycle day schedule is basically a number of days that repeat and cycle. So you might be on a 9 day schedule, a 12-day schedule, etc. Those are, a different type of schedule and can occur in different schools. Most schools that we've seen have been on a weekly schedule, but some of these other variations do occur across North America. And what we want here is basically to pick same day every week. We'll start with that. There's a version here that creates distinct bell times for each day of the week. This is something we use for college students mostly, where the bell times, which corresponds to different periods of the day, are never the same. Some classes are longer than others, and it doesn't repeat from day to day. We'll leave it simple for now and click next. You could set up terms right away. Studio Go supports terms. So if you have multiple terms and you have classes that last for more than one term and, different types of terms in your school, you could set this up. You could set this up later if you like. That's good as well. So let's go to create, and it has now created my schedule. You can customize day names. Some schools like to do that. If you're on a biweekly schedule, maybe you want Monday 1, Monday 2, or maybe some schools have colored days for AB days or different types of schedules. There's all sorts of variations here. We'll go with a standard one, but know that you can customize the names of the days. Now, the first thing you really need to set up in this new schedule is your calendar. The calendar is where you will find every special event, special day of the year. These are days that typically affect the schedule for that specific day. So we'll do that. We'll create a special day. A special day might be a holiday. So let's try that. If it's a holiday, and you can be specific, President's Day or Hanukkah or whatever the holiday might be, you can put that specific name in there and be clearer, and that's fun for everybody. I'll just use a generic one here for now. For each day, each special day, you can pick a symbol and a color that represents that specific type of day. And every time you'll have a holiday, for example, it'll be a blue square in my case. Just up to you. You can either show or not the symbol. That might be something that's useful if you just want to put a name, a special name on a day, but not have a symbol there. Typically, we show the symbol. And then there's the other element. So what happens with the schedule on this day? Well, you can force a type of day. So if you're on a weekly schedule, but you have a Friday that ends up being the schedule of a typical Thursday instead, you can do that. So if I picked Thursday here and put this on a Friday or any day, it would now have the schedule of a Thursday. And by schedule there, I mean the period number or block number and the list and the times would reflect that. I'll just keep it current for now. Under bell times, well, by default, there's one set of bell times. Every day is the same. We'll see that you can have multiples of those. I will just use the regular bell times for a holiday, or I should have a different set of bell times, no bell times for a holiday. So I'll just will not put that in here. And actually, on the schedule here, let's go back and say, well, there's no schedule on the holiday. I forgot I was working on a holiday. So yeah, there's no school, so there's no schedule. So nothing will appear on that day that's specific, and that's why we'll pick none. And I'll save. So now no schedule on a holiday, and what I can do is just drag this to whichever date I need to apply this. So let's say on the 25th of July, there's some kind of a holiday. Now it's set. If I change the definition, it will change it everywhere. And as soon as I'm done with this, well, I can publish my changes so everybody now has that. Any teacher or student in the school now has access to this exact calendar. Let's create another one that's a little bit different. Let's say, we'll say late start. So you can have special days that affect the schedule in different ways. Now, in order to do this, I will need a different type of bell time first. So let's go to the bell times. Now, the bell times haven't been set at this point yet because I did not place any classes in here. So I can create my own bell times manually. So I can say, let's say the first class is from 8:30 to 9:30. So I'll go from 8:30 till 9:30, or 8:30 to 10 maybe is in my school, 90 minutes. And then I'll do another one here, period 2, from 10:05, 5 minutes later, to 11:35. That's fine. Then I'll add lunch. Notice how it adapts to the times that are already there. So I can say lunch happens here maybe until 1:30, like this, so on and so forth. Period 3 would now be just after that, and period 4 after that. So easy enough to set up a basic schedule like this. And you can put as many periods as you like. I like putting one before, calling it AM, and that's just like a block before school, and then maybe a block after school, maybe for special activities, and then maybe one for evening, like this. And every day will have all these blocks, any day that follows the regular bell times. So I'll do that. So that'll be my regular bell times when I set up a normal day. But if I need to do something special, so I was working on a special day for a late start. So I'll click on plus, call the bell times late start. So that's just for me to remember this set of times corresponds to a late start. And I will copy the periods from the regular schedule to start. So now they're all the same. But what I'll do here is I will switch them. So in a late start, maybe what we do in my school is we don't have, we skip period 1. So I can delete period 1. And now it starts at period 2 and there's nothing in the morning. I could extend the AM to that if I wanted to. So until 10, whatever suits your your school schedule, right? So this is what it will look like. It could be that you still have all the periods, but they're shorter. You can create as many of these as you like. So this is bell times called late start. So these correspond to a set of times during the day where classes will be shown. It doesn't mean that right now the a late start exists because we don't have a special day and we don't know which days would be a late start day. So what we'll do here is now create a special day that will be called late start, or it could be something more specific, right? Maybe it's an event of some sort and you it's considered a late start day, so you want to make sure the right things appear there. Oh, but most calendars will have just something called late start, and that's what's on the calendar. So I'll use a different symbol. The schedule, well, it's going to be kept current. This means that the classes that occur on that day, say in this case on a Tuesday or Wednesday, will remain, except that we're going to use the late start bells. And if I do this, that means any class that would normally be in period one, well, we skip period one in our definition of the bell time. So that class will be skipped. So let me save that and let me put this late start here on the 28th. So it gives you an idea. It's very flexible. So you create these special days, you create these specific bell times that you need if you need them, and you basically apply them to different days. If you're on a rotating schedule, you can set a day to be a specific number. So this will be a day 3. You can shift days, inserting days in the sequence. There's lots of things you can do there. If you have any need there that's you need support, do reach out through the help bubble. We'll definitely help you set up whatever is very specific to your schedule here. So I've put these two in. I will publish my changes, and if I go back to my planner, because you always have, even the administrators have access to the planner, you can take a look. Let's say we take a look at the week here. We can see school starts today, basically. And I've set up a basic regular schedule. This one is applied to every school day by default. So that's my basic bell times that I did. And if I go to a holiday, I guess I kept this base regular schedule here for holidays. But if I go to the late start, there you can see it has a late start. So how will I change this? If I don't want the holiday to have any classes, well, let's go back to the schedules and edit that. Oh, sorry, we're doing it as the administrators. So schools, pencil, schedule. And then I'll use the pencil here, go back to my calendar. I've got my holiday here. It says no schedules, but by default, it'll show the default basic schedule. So that's why and it will have no classes in it, though. But the time slots will be the same as the regular schedule. So it might be a little confusing. It's not that there is no bell times. Yes, the default bell times will show up, but there will be no classes in those bell times. If I want something different here, if I want a specific set of bell times, I'll create one. I'll say, I'll call this no school, and maybe what I want is I'll copy the regular ones, but instead of putting something like period numbers, I'll get rid of this. I'll get rid of this because classes will show up, and I'll just say AM until 11:35, and then I'll delete these. Again, you could also make a block every hour to allow people to put in things for different hours. You're free to do what you like, but everybody will have the same in the school schedule. Quick note on that. 1:30. Oh, sorry, I have to use this notation right now because of my calendar being, we're located in Quebec. So that's what's there. I'll put 35 here just for cosmetic reasons. There you go. It all aligns. So this is now called my no school schedule. And if I go back to my calendar, edit the holiday, I can say still no schedule. There's no classes that will show up there. It's not like classes for a Monday or Tuesday. It's going to be nothing, none of the classes. But I do need to pick another set of bell times, the no school bell times here, and save. So if I go back now to my, I need to publish the changes. Don't forget to do that. That might cause confusion if you don't. This is just so you can make a bunch of changes and come back to it, and then it'll affect everybody once you publish. Otherwise, every little change would be updating everybody, and that would be a little annoying. So let's go back to the week, go back to my holiday, that is next week, and you can see that the proper bell times, one big AM period, one big PM, and there's no class basically set up for anything, and there you go. So that's how you create special days and bell times for your school. The next video will show you how you can go and assign different classes for teachers so that they occur on specific times.